people, good morning. Right, I'm going to do a few different things today. I saw a post that one of the ladies in one of the groups, Ali Palmer, put up today, and I thought, oh, that's a technique I've not done for a long time, so I'm gonna do it today. Give everybody a refresh, and for those that haven't seen it before, you know, it'll be a new technique for you too. So we're going to be doing a little bit of embossing, clear embossing. So I've got my clear embossing crystals there and my Versamark clear ink, clear sticky ink for that part, and my dusty bag to make sure we get rid of any static, my anti-static bag, a small acrylic block for some of the smaller stamping. Stamping I will be using Nocturne and Spruce from the Versifying Clair range. Part of the stamping I have done, the Nocturne stamping I have done. So what I'm going to be doing, as far as stamps are concerned, is the Pigs in Blankets from the Pink Ink Designs. Just a little stamp there, which I have already stamped out in Nocturne, and I've already stamped a little sentiment as well. It's Christmas, let's pig out. So that's my stamps. From this set, I think this is probably a set from a magazine or something. I've just randomly dragged it out the drawer, and I want to be using these trees. I might use that. I think that's quite pretty. I'm going to use that as part of my background as what I'm going to be using the clear crystals for, and also some of these snowflakes. So I'll be using some of those. Which means once I've stamped my trees, I am going to mask them, and I've got some mask it. This is also by Pink Ink. I'll give it a good shake actually while I'm at it. This is also by Pink Ink, so I shall mask my trees once I've stamped them out. That's my little brush for that. Inks, I'm using mainly the Intense Cosmic Shimmer Intense ink stains. These are very vibrant, so I'm going to be using quite a few different colours. I'll mention the colours as I go along, and then there's this Cosmic Shimmer Watercolour Blue as well that I've got here, Blue Skies, because it's a nice bright blue and I needed that. Card size, I'm just doing a 5x7 today. I've got this lovely, I found this at the show. I've been to the NEC show at the weekend. My brother treated me to that, which was lovely, and I picked up some nice card stock and stuff. So, and this was one of them. I thought it was really nice actually. 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 inches, and some watercolor card. It's 300 GSM, 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Okay, so that's all the bits and pieces we're going to be using. I'll put them to one side. Right, I'll colour these ones later. I'll do them towards the end. Let's put them up there out the way as well. I don't want them to get wet on my cleaning cloth. Right, let's move those out over there. Give myself a bit of space. Right, so first of all, I'm going to stamp out some of these trees and get them masked off before I go to my next stage. So let's just, it's probably years old and looks like not had much use either, so there we go. So I'm going to use these trees. Oof. Yep, they're well stuck. Just going to have those in the background behind the piggy wigs. Phew, they are well stuck, aren't they? Right, so that's that for now. Right, okay. Let's go with a stripy one first. And I'm going to stamp these in. I've already done the Nocturne stamping, so I don't need my Nocturne ink anymore. But so this is Spruce from the Versifying Clairs. And I'm going to stamp my trees. I think I'm going to do them all in, I'm not having a good day today, all in spruce. I don't think I've done anything today that's gone right up to now, including getting the cat in. Right, there we go. That's that one, and I'm just going to stamp that over here, like that. And I might use that one again actually on the other side. I'm putting them a bit further up. My pigs will be in the foreground, so my pigs will be in the centre here, so I kind of just want to place these trees around a little bit. Could go off the page, it doesn't matter if you go off the page. Let's have a look which one. Let's do that one. This one, I'm going to have to colour this one in, I think. I might do that one in Nocturne. Let's do this one. Let's do this one in Nocturne, because I will have to colour this one in because it's hollow. So I'm going to put that in front or behind. The pigs are going to cover most of that, so I'm going to put it behind. So I just need to get rid of that corner. That's not very well inked either, is it? Oh, it's Nocturne, it's green now. See what I mean? It's one of them days. It's going to be a green tree, not a black one, so wipe that ink off there, and then I can stamp that in there so it looks like it's behind the other one. Like that. And then this one, yeah, a bit rubbish these stamps, I must admit. There's cheap magazine ones usually are, aren't they? Stick to my thing. That's it. Green again this time. We'll take off this corner. We'll put that behind that tree. Like that. So you see how I've done that. So then once I've coloured in, let's chuck them up there, rubbish stamps. Once my pigs are coloured in and cut out, they'll be in the foreground like that. And I'll probably rip some white paper for my snow, but not until after I've done my watercolour background. Okay, yeah, I think that'll be about, and I think that's about good pleasure. Right. So now the watercolouring part. So what I want to do, I've got my jar of water. Oops, a daisy. Let's get that back up there. I've got my jar of water. Always keep it, two actually. I've always got 2 jars of clean water, just in case. Those I'll need in a bit, so let's put Emma out of the way. I mean, it is today. Right, so what I'm going to do now is, using my small brush, I'm going to cover these trees in the masket, so that when I do my watercolour background, these are not going to get covered in ink, supposedly. I don't always find this stuff works brilliantly, to be honest, but we'll go with it. I always seem to get ink under it somehow. Perhaps I just don't put enough on. So I'm just going to dab that on. Don't really matter about the stump. I'll have to let that dry off a bit. try not to get ink. I will try and not to get ink in that. But always, like I said, I'm not always successful with that. Just cover my trees. Best I can. And what happens when this stuff's dry, you can either use your finger or you can use an eraser to remove it. Hopefully it won't take too long to dry. Try and thin it down a bit. Right, it's them two done. It seems to be going on better onto this one. I am going to make it a little bit thicker just to make sure it don't get in there. I think that's well covered. Nice second stripy treat. Right, hopefully that's covered enough for it to not let the ink in underneath. I really don't trust it. Maybe I use it incorrectly, I don't know. Just not very good with it. It's just down to me, I think. There, right, is that drying off? Starting to. Right, I rinse my brush straight off. If you don't rinse your brush straight off, you'll end up with like a rubbery solution in your brush and your bristles all stuck together, because it does dry to like a rubbery stuff, and that is the pink ink masket. Right, see, let's get that dry enough. Now, as my background's going to be watercolour, as far as watercolour is going, the paper's going to be really quite wet for this technique. So I will spritz the back as well, and it does help to stop the paper curling. It's not dry yet. No. Speed that drying process up. Yeah, that's dry. It's really hard to tell if it's dry. Still looks shiny. That's it. It's nice and rubbery now, so that's dry. So now the watercolouring. I'm going to be using for the sky. I want some nice vibrant colours in my sky. So I'm going to start off light. So I'll go with this nice light blue. I might need quite a bit. And then I'm going to use a pink, rose pink. It's lovely the way this turns out. Right, 2 nice reasonable blobs of that, and that's them 2 done. So what I'm going to do first of all is spritz with my water the back of my card. That will help to stop my, I'll spritz the front as well a little bit, but I'm going to use a brush as well. Right, I'm going to wet my card right across the trees. No matter how far I go down, because I'm going to cover that bit with paper anyway. Get that lovely and wet. My brush is giving me bits. Right, and then we're going to get my blue paint. I'm just going to put that across there and let it run into that. That's a beautiful colour. This is, like I said, this is a Cosmic Shimmer watercolour ink, and it's called Blue Skies, this one's called. Beautiful colour, as you can see. So I want these to blend in with each other. The pinks, I'm going to put the pink on as well, and that will then start to blend with this blue. And it's okay for them to blend into each other as well, so that's all good. You get this purpley colour as well in between. So mix them in. Okay. I'll come a bit further down, I think. I'll come right down with that. Right, let that do its thing for a minute. And what I want to do with that now is, because I want to keep it quite pale, I'm going to take some of that colour off with my tissue. See what I mean by that? I seem to get the colour in it, I do. Perhaps I don't use a big enough brush. I'm a bit rubbish with that. Right, so I wanted to keep that quite pale, so it seems like a waste of ink, but it's really not. When you see the result, it's beautiful. Just going to get rid of all of that under there. I need to dry this off now. Okay. So I'm now going to dry this. Okay, then it curls it right there. I've got to get it dry because I'm going to be doing some embossing on top of that, so it does need to be dry. I do hate that it curls up, but never mind, it is what it is. Get it as flat as we can. I think that should be dry enough. Right. Yeah, I think dry enough. So now what I want to do, I'm going to do some heat embossing. So first of all, using my dusty anti-static bag, I'm going to dust over all of that to make sure my powder doesn't stick to any of that ink if it is damp, or to those trees. I don't want it sticking to those trees either. Oh, doorbell, 1 second. Right, so that's all dusted. Right, so now I'm going to have a go with some of these snowflakes. Oh, if I can get it off the packet. That's my trees, get them out of the way. Well and truly stuck. Oh, blimey. I want that one. I think that one might be a bit too big for what I really want, but this one will look nice, I think. We'll see. Maybe we'll use that big one. We'll see. Right, so that I'm going to need I need my larger stamp thing for that. In fact, I'm going to use my stamping platform for these, because if it doesn't ink up well, at least I can ink it again. Sometimes watercolour card doesn't ink so great, not as easily as ultra smooth card. So I'm just going to put some magnets down. One snapped, cracker. It's not good, is it? Got a snapped magnet, never mind. Anyway, so they're going to hold my card in place. Let's get rid of that bit. They're going to hold my card in place, and I'm going to go right to the edge. I'm going to put that one in there. I think I'm going to have that one. Where can I put that one? Up in the air like that. Yes, and we'll have a big one over here. Don't matter if it goes off the page a little bit. And a smaller one down there. So ink those up with my Versamark, my clear sticky ink. Have I put that one upside down? No, it's not sticking though, is it? Stick. Stick, stick, stick. These are rubbish. These stamps. Note to self, get some decent Christmas stamps. I just pulled these out for quickness. I was going to sort out my pink ink ones, but I've got so much stuff all piled up, boxes on top of boxes, and I've just left it for now. Right, hopefully that's got enough ink on there. And get my crystals open ready as well. These are nice large crystals. These are nice to use. Press that down. Oh, I can't hardly see that at all, so I'm going to go and ink again. I just want to be sure that I've got plenty of ink down. I don't like that that's not sticking well to my plate. It falls off. I'm buggered. I think that's... I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not trusting it. That should be well covered by now. That should have plenty of ink on it now. Okay, let's try that anyway. Right, put that out of the way. Right, we need a bit of paper. A bit of paper under here somewhere. And I'm going to do my crystals. I know there's lots and lots on there, I don't really need all that much, so I'm just making sure it's covered. Yep, I'm going to go that way. And I'm just going to go that way as well, just to make sure it's got both sides. Right, that's got that. That can all go back in there. I do like these big pots, they're much better than fiddling around with the little pots. Let's move that out of the way. Let's get rid of that excess. Dry that off. You can just about see where the clear is. Might put some more on actually. Let's get these ones done first. And it disappears. This then, when I put my next load of ink on top, this will resist the ink, so they'll show through lighter underneath. That's the aim. There, you see that? Can you guys see where that is there? That light catches. Beautiful. I think I might put one or two down here as well actually. Let's have another look. Let's have another look. Let's put some. That's just holds my paper. That's just to hold my paper down. Don't like that broken one. I can put one up there now. Do one down here. Let's do that big one down there. I think that will look nice there. Take them two off. Let's ink this one up. I'll give this one a few coats as well because I like to make sure it's, like I say, the thing with, if I was using smooth, you know, real smooth paper, it would work first time, but inking onto watercolour card is always a little bit dicey because it's textured. So you need to make sure you get that ink right in there. That's the reason I'm layering it up. So right. Just get rid of them out of the way. They're off there. That lot can go in the bin after today, the bloody rubbish. There's my paper. So we'll ink this one up as well. Crystal, put the crystals on, powder it. I always do in both directions, as I say. Just make sure it gets all round. You see how the rest of the crystals, if you don't use your static bag beforehand, those crystals have a tendency to, you know, stick onto this, you know, into your background, and it spoils really. You don't want them all over the place. Although I don't suppose it would have mattered on here because it would have just looked like extra snow. Right, so you can see where I've got the crystals on that. And you can watch it melt and disappear. As it melts, it kind of disappears. Ouch, it's getting my finger. So there you see, a lovely big snowflake down there as well. Okay. Let it cool off a bit. Right, so now my second layer of inks that I want to do. This time I want to go a little bit darker, so I'm going to use over the blue. I'm using blue violet. This is a gorgeous colour. Blue violet. And I've got a, what's this one? Garnet Star. What's that? Where's, not what I was planning on using. Where's my purple? There it is, deep plum. I've got a deep plum. Plum goes well over pink, I think. Hope. Deep plum. Well, that does look dark, doesn't it? Right, let's see how this turns out. I've not had a practice or anything, so I've no idea how this is going to go. So we wet it all again. Actually, let me make sure all that dust has gone off there. We wet it all again. Oh, soaking wet. And where I've put those snowflakes, they will resist the ink, supposedly. So wet all that again. Right, so the blue this time, oh, I should have spritzed the back, shouldn't I? Stops your paper from curling up so badly. Otherwise my ink will all run that way instead of where I want it. Right, so here we go, the blue. You see how it's resisting those snowflakes? How gorgeous is that? And they'll show through because they're a lighter colour underneath. And so they've picked up the light colour underneath. So now we'll go with some of this purple. Oh, that is dark. That is nice. You know, I should have just dabbed it on really to get a different texture. And the two will mix, the two will run into each other. That is the general idea. Yeah, my paper's curling up, I don't want it. I should have taped it down. And let that go into that as well. And that into that. And that into that. You see that lovely resist? Now under normal circumstances I would leave that to dry on its own, but not today because I want to see where this goes. Right, let's get rid of all that excess. From under there and under there. I'm going to dab some of this because it's pooling and I don't really want it to pool. And it's still got that darker texture, so because I haven't got an awful lot of pattern texture in that, I'm going to make some. What I'll do is, as long as that's darker on top than what was underneath, it will work, because you can see it, you can see where the snowflakes are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my fan brush, a little fan brush, and I'm just going to do some splashes on it. That will pull out some of the other ink. Let me find a clean patch on my paper if I can find one. Oh no, it's pulling out too much. See how little speckles appear? Gives me a bit of texture. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. So now we dry it again. Yeah, a lot of people, they tend to, you can use masking tape and tape your paper down so it doesn't move. But I find normally if you spritz the back of it before you start, it usually keeps your paper quite flat. It's just one of the things with watercolouring. Ali, if you see this, thank you for the inspiration. It's nice to revisit this technique. Something I've not done in a long time. And I've not done it with watercolour either, actually. I've done it with other inks, but I've not done it with watercolour before. So, thank you for the inspiration, Ali. There, I think we're good there. I think we've done as much as we need to do there. Just shake that to get it a bit cool again, because that will reheat the embossing powder. Right, so now to get rid of this. So I'm now going to take the masking fluid off. You can just rub it with your finger, and as you see, it does come off. Sometimes, depending on what paper you're using, it can pull your paper, so do be careful when taking it off. I don't look too bad. A little bit of, perhaps need to fill a little bit of colour in just there. And it has gone through a little bit, but obviously I put enough on this time. I think before I just weren't putting enough on. I'll say I've not had much success with this stuff before, but obviously weren't putting enough on there. So I've got my trees in the background now. So what I want to do now is I'm going to get some torn paper, card. Find a bit of card I can tear. That bit will do. So I need to tear it. It needs to be in a hill, doesn't it? It needs to go right uphill. So I'm going to give this a try. Let's try it like this. I don't want to cover too much of that lovely, lovely star. And then come up the hill like that. See if that works. Let's have a look, see if I can. No, that one's a bit too far up, isn't it? Right. Let's try that. Get in there. Try it. There. That would look nice, wouldn't it? So they obviously still need to be on the snowy hills. So I think that's just about where I want it to be. Right. I'm going to pull that across there. So it looks like them trees are behind the hills now, doesn't it? I'm going to glue that. Let me use my nail for now, just to see where I need to glue to. Been right pig's ear of that, didn't I? Right, so I'll glue that, stick that on there. There's lots of them in the bin. Right. It gives me a Nice snowy hill. And it doesn't cover too much of my snowflake. Out there. We'll do it. That's it. We can cut that bit down. I might have to cut that bottom bit off now, I don't like that showing at the bottom. It'd be alright if it's the same colour, but it's not, it's off white. There you go, so I've now got my snowy hill. So we can put that to one side for now and bring in my little piggies. So we'll colour these in. Right, I've got some, where's that crimson? Where's that pink? That's the pink one, isn't it? Right, let's move that lot out of the way. Right, little pigs, little pigs. I'm going to water that down as much as I can. There you go. It's quite a good piggy pink, that one, isn't it? Colour my piggy wigs in. Little pigs in blankets for Christmas. Let's dab him down a little bit so he's not quite so bright. Just put some water on him, take some of that pink out. Bit too dark. That's it. Water that down a bit more if I can. Do the king of piggies. I think this is the boy and this is the girl. I'm going to give her some eyelashes. Right, darken it a bit then now for the nose. And just the inner ear. These are cute little pigs, I do like these. Kathy's a genius. Kathy Shuttleworth, she creates these pink ink stamps. Her and Mel between them. Kathy comes up with the idea, or Mel comes up with the ideas and throws it at Kathy, and Kathy draws them out. And this is what we get. Lovely little piggy pigs. And squiggly tails as well. Let's do the tails a bit darker. Little squiggly tails. Right, let's see. Let's have one. We'll do one up in. Should we do like a lime green? Citrus lime. Don't need a lot. These inks, I mean, I've put far too much in my palette, but it doesn't matter because they'll dry off eventually. And you just add water in it, it reactivates it. So I'm going to do some lime green because green is my favourite colour. And I'm going to have this piggy blanket in lime green. Do you know, I thought something was missing. I didn't put my glasses back on after I went to the door. There you go. You can see what I'm doing now. So we've got a piggy in green, and we'll have one in, should we do forest green? No, not forest green. Let's do yellow, nice yellow. See how for the main colouring it's just a tiny spot. Just use a tiny spot because that really is all you need. My stamping went a little bit blurry. My stamp moved as I was stamping it, but I thought, oh well, you won't see it by the time I've painted it. There we go. Might add a little bit of forest green to his blanket. And put that one in there. And get another brush for that. Get me finer brush. And let's do his little Mickey's tartan. Like that. And before my colour soon, my nice clean water soon got manky coloured. Oh, it's got green in that still. Not good. But I got that out. So I'm just gonna, this is just to pull out some of the yellow colour, which has now turned green. That's it. Give it a bit of highlight. So you've got the dark areas where they need to be, still blinking, picking up the green. It is. Like that. And I think I'm going to use a pen to put the spots in there. I think I'm going to give her some red spots. Pinky red spots with a nice pen. And a bulldog clip to hold it together. Like that. We'll colour his crown. Do that in gold. And I think the outline we'll do it in a darker gold. I've got another goldish colour that I can use. I can find it. There it is. More of an orange. I'm just going to put that on the outer edge. Like that. King of the Piggy Wigwigs. And we'll do a little bit of white highlight here and there around these little pigs' faces and ears. And a little bit on her snooch. There. So my little piggy's coloured in. I think she should have some eyelashes. I'm going to use my pen and put some eyelashes on her. I am, because I wanted to be a pretty girl. There you go. She's a lady. Make sure you can still see their noses. That's it. Have a little bit of shading on her above her snout. A bit more that darker pink. Add it to a little bit of water. And his as well, and a bit under his crown as well. Because he would be more shaded there, wouldn't he? They'll both be shaded underneath where the blanket comes up. Blend that in a little bit. Not too stark. Two lovely little piggy pigs, two little Christmas piggies. I'm going to cut round those now. And I'll picture back in. So we cut round these. I am going to leave a little gap, a little white edge around. Just a tiny little bit. Just makes it stand off the page a little bit. Otherwise, if you go round the actual line, I find it can make your picture disappears among the background. So you give it a tiny white border. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but I prefer to have a little white border. Yeah, pigs in blankets. That's a good one, isn't it, for Christmas? We all love pigs in blankets at Christmas. I certainly do. I hope people do see the comic side of the pigs in blankets and not take it seriously. You know, as food goes. So, cut his crown. There you go. And then they can sit in the snow just there like that. If I put a little bit of shadow under there, so I'll bring that palette back in. We'll have a little bit of watered down blue. Just there. And the little piggies can sit there. Right, before I attach those piggies, I'm going to glue this down onto here, onto the main card. Because I want to put them on with sticky buds. using my Cosmic Shimmer glue for this. Oh dear, let's get up there a bit, that's it. I do love that silver. It's lush. Lush. I know it seems wasteful having that behind. A lot of people would cut that out, so they've still got the centre bit. It saves waste, but no. I'd sooner have it there. And I know my card that goes on top is going to sit flat then. Let's put that up there. Can go on there like that. A bit wider at the top and bottom now because I cut the bottom off the main card, off this bit. So that will go there. My piggy weeks can go here. So, here's some sticky buds. Now, these ones, that's going to go there. I'll use these thicker ones at the top there then. I think that king's head there. Yeah, does it add that snowflake a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, that's too, it's too much. Let's cut some of that off. That's it. Yeah. Even a small bit on her head. And the rest I'll use normal size. These are tiny. These are tiny little blooming things. I need to get some bigger sticky buds. The deeper ones are just to compensate the where I've got the paper stuck on top, really. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, that works. So peel them off. Never find the right edge to peel off. Nearly there. And there we go. So piggies can go just there. Like that. Still get to see a bit of that snowflake in the background there as well then, and a little snowy hill and a little shadow, and then the sentiment can go, it's Christmas, let's pig out. I think that can go there. Doesn't spoil too much of the pattern, does it? I think I'll put that on with buds as well. Just 3 should do it. About there. There you go. One lovely Christmas card made. Piggies, trees, and that lovely background. And what do you think to that, folks? I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope it's inspired you to have a go for yourselves. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the way that's turned out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.